Call or visit MilaniMedSpa.com.
Good morning, America. Breaking news as we come on the air. President Trump declares victory.
They really stepped up their commitment and stepped it up like they never have before.
After those tense talks with our allies, the president claims NATO allies increased defense spending, says the U.S. commitment to NATO remains strong. Now he heads to London, where he'll meet with the British Prime Minister and the Queen. Protests there already underway.
Also breaking overnight, Stormy Daniels arrested. The adult film star who says she had an affair with Donald Trump taken into custody during one of her shows. Her lawyer now calling it a sting operation.
Lightning danger. This tree splitting apart in Colorado. And the monsoon storm hitting, causing this grocery store in Arizona to completely go up in flames.
Crossing the line, the man who plays Borat under fire.
It's nice.
Did he trick Sarah Palin into an interview pretending to be a disabled veteran and dupe other leaders, all as a stunt for his new show? The calls to boycott right now.
And remarkable recovery. The young soccer team trapped in that cave for weeks, now flashing the victory sign from their hospital beds. Their families watching them behind the glass. Now, two of those brave divers who were in the cave helping with the rescue are speaking out on GMA for the first time.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
And we do say good morning, America. Great to have you with us on this thankful Thursday, and we're thankful to see images like this. So wonderful to see those boys doing well in the hospital.
It sure is. And in just a moment, for the first time, we'll hear from some of the divers who were in that cave during the rescue, helping the boys get out. They're going to reveal just how dangerous it got.
Even more perilous than we thought. But we're going to begin with that breaking news out of Brussels. President Trump emerging from an emergency meeting at NATO to declare victory, claiming that he has convinced our allies to contribute more to NATO's defense. That comes after confrontational talks ahead of the president's meetings with the Queen in England, President Putin on Monday. Our chief foreign correspondent, Terry Moran, is tracking it all from Brussels. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, George. Well, I think it's fair to say NATO has never seen anything like Donald Trump. From the moment he arrived here, he went on the attack like a bull in a china shop, issuing such dire and drastic threats that it plunged the summit into this emergency meeting today and raised questions among some allies whether he was preparing to pull the U.S. out of the alliance altogether. But others thought it might just be a Trumpian negotiating tactic, all part of the art of the deal. This morning, President Trump declaring victory over America's allies, claiming he has successfully forced Germany and other NATO members to pay substantially more of the costs of the alliance.
Yesterday, I let them know that I was extremely unhappy with what was happening, and they have substantially upped their commitment, And now we're very happy and have a very, very powerful, very, very strong NATO, much stronger than it was 2 days ago.
Earlier, President Trump arriving at the NATO summit late and alone, determined to fundamentally change America's relationship with our closest allies, hammering out angry tweets overnight, targeting Germany and other NATO allies on their defense spending. Presidents have been trying unsuccessfully for years to get Germany and other rich NATO nations to pay more toward protection from Russia. They pay only a fraction of their cost. The U.S. pays tens of billions of dollars too much to subsidize Europe and loses big on trade. The president's demands triggering an emergency NATO meeting. Reports that Trump threatened to pull the U.S. out of the alliance it founded almost 70 years ago. His ultimatum, NATO members must increase their defense spending, repeating that request overnight, tweeting, all NATO nations must meet their 2% of GDP commitment, and that must ultimately go to 4%. Right now, the U.S. only spends 3.5% on defense and has massive military commitments around the globe, far from Europe. From the moment he arrived, the president has been on the attack, spending much of yesterday going after Germany for its recent $12 billion gas pipeline deal with Russia, and tweeting overnight, pipeline dollars to Russia are not acceptable. But the president was all smiles when meeting with French President Emmanuel Macron.
Merci beaucoup. Merci, madame.
It sounded beautifully. I have no idea. It sounded great.
I have to say, I told him exactly the same.
And making small talk at the class photo. First Lady Melania Trump there, even chatting with German Chancellor Angela Merkel over wine. So when all is said and done, President Trump says he has strengthened the NATO alliance, and for all of his fire and fury, he claims he's got very warm personal relations with all of the leaders, including Chancellor Merkel.
Yeah, he said that's what it was like behind closed doors. Now, Terry, the president downplayed the idea that he threatened to leave NATO if the allies didn't come forward with new commitments, and we still don't know exactly from those allies what they committed to.
That's right. What he wants them to do is obviously pay more for their defense. But since he became a candidate, he has questioned the very need for NATO. He called it obsolete on the campaign trail. That hangs over this alliance like a dark shadow. So as he comes at them, they aren't 100% sure if his request for them to spend more is real or a pretense for him to change America's relationship with the alliance altogether.
The president also said the NATO allies thanked him for meeting with President Putin on Monday, gave a little bit of a preview of what that might look like, said he would bring up Russian meddling in our election, also the annexation of Crimea, but he seemed to shift blame there to President Obama.
He does. He has done this before. He says that the annexation of Crimea and, frankly, the war in eastern Ukraine, which represent the first time European borders have been changed by force since World War II, he says that's President Obama's problem. I wouldn't have allowed it to happen, suggesting that it's not going to be an issue high on his agenda. It is an issue high on Europeans' agenda. They've seen this movie before when Russia starts tearing chunks off of other countries, and they'd like it to stop.
And
George?
now the president heading to Great Britain. Terry Moran, thanks very much. Michael?
All right, thank you, George. Now to that breaking news overnight. Stormy Daniels arrested during one of her shows, taken into custody, and our chief justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, has the latest. Good morning, Pierre.
Michael, good morning. That's right. The arrest of the adult film star happening overnight during a performance at a strip club. But this morning, her attorney is crying foul. Overnight, what started as an adult nightclub appearance in Columbus, Ohio, ending in an arrest for porn star Stormy Daniels. Daniels seen here in handcuffs, a police officer leading the way. In a series of tweets, her attorney Michael Avenatti saying Daniels was arrested for allowing a customer to touch her while on stage in a non-sexual manner. Avenatti also claiming the arrest was a setup and politically motivated, adding it reeks of desperation. We will fight all bogus charges. But authorities claim otherwise, writing that Daniels, formerly known as Stephanie Clifford, forced the faces of patrons into her chest, among other actions, including inappropriately touching female patrons. Daniels has made headlines for her involvement in a political scandal involving President Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen.
For years, Mr. Cohen has acted like he is above the law. He has never thought that women, and even more women like me, mattered. That ends now.
Cohen paid Daniels $130,000 a month before the presidential election to stop her from discussing an affair she allegedly had with Trump in 2006. Cohen initially denied making the payment, but later said the payment was made with his own money.
This is Michael Cohen, an attorney.
Daniels, who was released, is due in court Friday morning for a 9 a.m. arraignment. Her attorney is tweeting this morning that she will plead not guilty to misdemeanor charges. Robin?
All right, Pierre, thank you. Now to that miracle rescue in Thailand. This morning, new video showing the families of that soccer team meeting the rescuers who saved their sons' lives as the boys recover in the hospital this morning. ABC's Adrian Bankert is still there. And Adrian, you had the opportunity to speak with some of those divers who were actually in the cave during the rescue?
Yes, Robin, they're saying this was so unreal. Many saying this was the most challenging dive they'd ever taken on. Another describes how in a full wetsuit with all that heavy gear, at some points they're diving in the cave, at other times trudging through the mud, all while carrying those children out on stretchers from that cave. This morning, you can see that highly calculated plan in action. New video shows how teams of expert divers pulled those 12 boys and their coach from the belly of that cave.
Our job was to get the kid out from the water, take the full face mask off, put him in the stretchers, gently holding their hands so that they don't get tangled, or if there's distress, they don't start to pull the mask off.
Divers from around the world who came to assist in the rescue are speaking out for the first time about conditions inside that cave as oxygen ran low.
If you could rank 1 to 10, how hard this was? 13, 17?
You couldn't see this, It wasn't until you actually touched your own mask that you could actually see your hands. I mean, just pulling yourself along a rope and smacking your head into rocks. We did exit the cave fairly quickly.
Describe the feeling rippling through the camp there at the cave when everybody knew we got the last boy out, we got the coach out. It's a wrap.
It was actually quite silent when you kind of like, this actually worked.
A Thai diver from Bangkok says he was very familiar with the area's dangerous caves.
How many of you?
But he never imagined that this could ever happen.
The really first day I arrived there on Monday night, started working side by side with the SEALs team on the Tuesday morning. This is the most difficult dive I have ever been to.
This video shows them being carried all the way out. One of the soccer players seen on a stretcher wrapped in a blanket before medical teams quickly step in to transport him to the hospital. And some of the divers have met with the boys' families who thank them, as well as the nation of Thailand, celebrating their remarkable mission.
We've been talking about this with the guys, and nobody has ever heard of such a big operation, and especially that ends up this good.
And here at the hospital, the boys are still recovering. They'll be here for about a week, then go home and recover for another month. The divers we spoke to all say they hope to meet the boys, and they're calling the British divers who found them first, as well as the Thai Royal Navy, the true heroes. Robin?
A lot of heroes going around. All right. Thanks so much, Adrian. And it must have been something for the families to meet the rescuers for the first time like that.
Important. Great to see the boys doing well as well. We're going to move on now to that wild weather out west. Storms led to this fire in Phoenix. It was destroyed a Phoenix grocery store. There's also some flooding in New Mexico. Ginger covering it all. Good morning, Ginger.
Tis the season, George, because we are in monsoon season, which is a shift in the wind and a seasonal thing that happens in the Southwest. And yes, that Safeway up in flames. It was reported originally because of lightning, but we called this morning, our intern Sam actually called, and it was because of flash flooding causing an electrical fire that sent that thing up in flames. Now, I want to take you to Ouray, Colorado with one of the other threats from the monsoon, and that would be lightning. You can see it flashing into that tree, bursting things into flames there as well. And then in Arizona, this is what it looks like from above when the skies turn and you have that monsoon come in and then they sit there. And that's the issue with these storms, is that they move very slowly. The setup is like that. You have that big ridge with all the high pressure there in the middle of the country, and then moisture coming in here. Also some influence from the Pacific now, and that's where we're going to see these storms popping up. Why we have flash flood watches for much of New Mexico. You can see, Nevada, parts of New Mexico, and Colorado. All right, a whole lot more coming up for now, but we'll head over to you guys.
All right, Ginger, thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Ginger. And now to the survivors of that plane crash in Alaska. All 11 people on board this floater plane somehow able to walk away after it crashed on a mountainside. This morning, we're seeing video of the dramatic Coast Guard rescue helicopter and hearing from one of the passengers. ABC's Will Carr has the story.
Overnight, new video of that dramatic rescue on the side of a treacherous mountain in Alaska. Watch as this Coast Guard crew pulls one plane crash survivor after another to safety in perilous conditions.
The whole effort, it was amazing. I'm gonna cry, sorry. It's just incredible.
Passengers who were returning from a sport fishing resort area still emotional.
To have to get in that helicopter and be terrified of another flight, and the pilot he was just calm, and they were amazing.
Another posting on Facebook, "I can't believe they found us. I can't believe they braved the conditions they did." 11 people survived after their float plane crashed into a mountain filled with jagged rocks and steep cliffs on Prince of Wales Island.
We're fully expecting fatalities just due to the sheer rock faces around the area that we were at.
But the pilot managed to avoid the life-threatening pitfalls.
From your perspective, what are the odds that this pilot could safely crash land this plane, keep it intact, and keep everybody safe on that flight? 0.1%.
The pilot calling 911 moments after the crash, the Coast Guard then swooping in, navigating 2 helicopters through dense fog. One crew member saying it was the thickest cloud cover he'd ever seen. The survivors bruised and battered, but all okay.
Nothing but 11 smiles shining back at us. They're pretty grateful that we were able to get them off the mountain.
We've learned the pilot is a former Navy SEAL and commercial aviator and likely used that experience to pull off the impossible. Robin.
Happy ending there. All right, well, now to that breaking news overnight. Papa John's founder resigning as chairman of the board for the pizza chain after apologizing for using a racial slur on a conference call. Lindsay Davis is here with that story for us. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning to you, Robin. John Schnatter allegedly used the call, ironically, on a conference call about
how to avoid public relations crises. The pizza executive reportedly complained that Colonel Sanders called blacks the N-word without facing public backlash. He also reportedly said that growing up in Indiana, people used to drag African Americans from trucks until they died. Schnatter confirmed that the incident to Forbes, acknowledging that he did use inappropriate and hurtful language, adding that regardless of the context, I apologize. Simply stated, racism has no place in our society. But after backlash online, Schnatter was forced to give up his board seat at the University of Louisville. And on Wednesday, the company he started announced that they accepted his resignation as chairman of the board.
It is not the first time that his comments have been an issue.
He's been having a few problems on these conference calls. Another one in November, he blamed the NFL anthem protest for slowing down pizza sales. Shortly after that comment, he was replaced as the CEO, and the company he founded was dropped as the NFL's official pizza sponsor, which caused stocks to slide 30%. It slid another 5% since the new comments came to light yesterday.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, really shocking.
Very shocking. All right. Thank you so much, Lindsay. And we're going to turn now to some good news. Well, it depends on who you're a fan of.
If you're
good news for the World Cup,
Right.
yes. In those moments of celebration and heartbreak in the semifinals match between Croatia and England, they came out strong, scoring at the top, scoring the first goal of the game. And take a look at how the fans celebrated. All that good beer going to waste. Just throw it up in the air, people. But it did not last. Croatia tied it up in the 68th minute, right here with that score. And then this moment, Croatia nailing the winning goal.
In extra time.
Winning 2-1. And now one of the smallest countries to make the World Cup is heading to their first one ever. They're going to face France on Sunday. And to give you a perspective of how big Croatia is, it's smaller than West Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think every Croatian in New York were out in their cars last night.
It did seem that way.
But they should celebrate it. It should be happy.
You do know that the president of ABC News is British. Okay, so you're saying that.
Well, they had a good run.
Nice save there. Nice save, Michael. Now let's get back to Ginger with rough surf and rip current dangers on the East Coast.
I was going to say, don't call it like breaking good news. It's just news that it happened, right? And I have some news for you. It's been so beautiful along the East Coast, unless you're right at the beach, and that's where you're seeing those rip currents. So these pictures out of Narragansett, Rhode Island, we've seen dozens of water rescues because the rip current's so bad because of that hurricane that's pulling away. That's Chris. Well, now a tropical storm and dying out. But either way, it really churned up the ocean, and that's the latest there. You can see it moving away from even close to Canada there, but the rip current threat still exists all the way down even into North Carolina. So don't let that fool you, even though you see pictures like this where it's getting out of here. We still have lots more to talk about as far as rip currents the next 2 days or so. Your local weather in 30 seconds. First, though, the Sunny Cities, sponsored by CarMax.
At CarMax, we buy all the cars.
All the cars?
All the cars.
Old cars?
Yes.
New cars?
Oh, yeah.
Sports cars?
Indeed.
A big old boat-like car?
Permission to come aboard.
What about a car that's all...
I don't see why not.
What about, let's say, I don't know, a purple van with a painting of a wizard just shooting lightning out of his fingers, riding a unicorn, sneezing rainbows?
Definitely.
I'm just asking for a friend.
Yeah, I figured.
Today, one of the cooler days out of this month. We'll see temperatures between about 85 and 87 degrees. Lower humidity. That easterly wind could give us a little pop-up afternoon shower between 1 and about 6 o'clock. But for the most part, dry. Wouldn't even carry the umbrella. Good weather for the pool, too. Not expecting any lightning today. 87 degrees, your high for today. The 90s this weekend. More humid. Perfect pool weather. There could be a little stray shower on Sunday. Better chance of rain comes Monday and especially Tuesday of next week.
Iridescence on a Peleus cloud. Does that sound exciting? Yes. There it is. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Hey, Peleus?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I didn't know
Very
if it was
good.
appropriate for morning television.
But now that you've seen the photo, it is, right? We all learned a little something today.
Thank you. Coming up, Sacha Baron Cohen is under fire for his new show. Did he dupe Sarah Palin by portraying a disabled veteran? And other politicians now saying they were tricked as well, some calling for a boycott.
Larry Hacker to be here to weigh in on that. And a wedding reception nightmare. The newlyweds celebrating their big day where nearly 100 guests ended up like this. So what happened? And the lawsuit this morning. Come on back.
The day after chemo shouldn't mean going back to the doctor.